Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So, let me tell you what I have for you today. Let me remind you that at 9 p.m. Moscow time, 11 a.m. Seattle time, I have a live stream scheduled with the one and only Andrei Martyanov. So tune in for that if you have time. And the topics for today. We have some words from Dmitry Medvedev about removing Zelensky. We have very important words from the Prime Minister of Hungary, Viktor Orban, about Nato. And I have some information about Kiev using chemical weapons against Russia. And the last topic will be how much more Poland will be spending on the defense. Yes, you got it right, as if it's not a lot already. And I will have a fantastic comment today from a Polish viewer. Very, very cool comment. So stay all the way to the end of the video to hear that comment, which I really appreciate. Let's start with Dmitry Medvedev, who, as you know, is a deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council. And what he just said, well, actually yesterday, on July the 10th, today we have the 11th, the last day of NATO summit. Before I go into Medvedev, don't you think, guys, that that picture that was taken, I think it was on the 9th, after they all gathered in Washington, kind of looks like very Freemason or something of that nature, meeting the coloring, the symbols, I don't know. It just looks very, very weird to me. Or is it like conspiracy again? Just, do you share the same opinion? You don't have to. Very awkward, weird colors and symbols. So, removal of Zelensky. Dmitry Medvedev has advocated a radical change in Ukrainian leadership. Medvedev said, regime change in Kiev is necessary for peace talks to end Russia-Ukraine war. He, however, urged Moscow to remain cautious. Even if Ukraine accepts Putin's peace offer. He added that Ukraine can't be trusted and a more radical group might come to power. And more from Medvedev, this is exactly directly his words. Even if Kiev, which has rejected the initiative, eventually accepts Russia's conditions, Moscow should remain cautious because Russia will not benefit from a pause in military operations, which will allow Ukraine to regroup its forces, while no statements from Ukraine can be trusted. There is more, but I just want to say here, this is something I was thinking about myself. How you can really be sure that any agreement signed will be respected. But let's continue here. Can be trusted. All this might trigger a new third Maidan, like situation in Ukraine, which will sweep away the current junta, bringing an even more radical group to power. Strange as it might seem, this will be when conditions will be created for talks, particularly on Kiev's surrender. It will be more difficult for the Western Alliance to provide assistance to unabashed, I think I said this correctly, extremists. Besides, they will have to and openly admit that tens of billions of dollars in taxpayers' money was wasted. So Washington and its associates will force the Kiev Nazis to recognize the outcome of the war. Zelensky's clique will flee to the west or will be torn to pieces by a mob. A moderate political regime will emerge from the ruins of former Ukraine. I think this is one of the topics that I will be asking Andrei Martyanov's opinion about tonight. So if you're interested in his response, join us tonight. Because there is a lot of different scenarios that this might go into. Now, Viktor Orban, what he just put on his X platform, previously known as Twitter. This is article from TASS from July 10th. NATO's increasing role in Ukraine conflict is dangerous and irresponsible, Viktor Orban said. Budapest, July 10th. NATO's role in Ukraine conflict is increasing, which is perilous, I think I said correctly, and even irresponsible, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said on the sidelines of the North Atlantic Alliance summit in Washington. Quoting Viktor Orban now, NATO was established 75 years ago with the goal of protecting the security of its members. Today, however, it seems to be moving away from its original purpose, behaving more and more like a war organization. How cool there's someone who actually says those words. I know some of you don't fully trust Orban, but at the end of the day, he's saying this, right? So, yeah, it's a war organization. One of the signs, more from Orban, of this, one of the signs that this is war organization of this is that NATO is taking an increasingly active role in the Russian-Ukraine war. In our opinion, this is dangerous and even irresponsible because no one can see how this will end or where we will end up. So Orban posted this on Twitter, and he will argue that NATO should return to its original spirit. He added that alliance should not win the wars going around it, but the peace. I mean, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Orban reiterated that Hungary will not participate in the NATO-Ukraine mission, but would fully comply with its obligation to the allies. I think some of you probably came across this, that they actually want to remove Orban from his EU position right now. That he has this 6 months rotating, is it like a presidency or something like that, position. And I read the news that they are talking about, of course, Ursula the Witch is talking about it, to remove Viktor Orban from this position in Hungary. Now this will be, it's not an article, it's actually a video I came across, and this will be also attached down below in the description box. Those are words from this video, and you're welcome to click on it and watch it yourself. It's about Kiev using chemical weapons against Russia. Ukrainian chemical factory was discovered by Russia, and this video shows some evidence. If this is true, Russia releases video showing Ukrainian laboratory used in production of weapons. The facility was reportedly discovered near the Avdiivka, near Donetsk region, in the area recently won by the Russian forces. Lieutenant General Igor Kiev'S, the head of the Russia's Chemical and Biological Defense Forces, stated that the traces of, now many words I don't know, so those of you who are experts, please apologies here. He stated that the traces of sulfuric acid, sodium cyanide and cyanide anions were found at the site. The substances can potentially be used to create hydrogen cyanide, a highly toxic agent historically used as a chemical weapons during the World War I. Footage shows Russian troops entering the laboratory, recording and collecting the samples. A noticeable piece of equipment resembling a chemical reactor is visible in the video. General has recorded at least 2 instances of possible hydrogen site used by Ukrainian forces. He said that one was used in May 2024, where civilians in the Avdiivka region reportedly showed symptoms consistent with the hydrogen cyanide poisoning. Additionally, chemicals were also found in ammunition fragments in Russia's Belgorod region. So I wouldn't be surprised. We know what other kind of laboratories they have discovered there, right? And also human trafficking aspects. Meanwhile, in Poland, because Poland never stops to deliver the stories. Poland to increase defense budget by about 10% in 2025, said Deputy Minister Cezary Tomczyk in an interview with TVN24, TVN24. And he said, the budget of the Ministry of National Defense will be the highest in history. It will be about 10% higher than in 2024. It will be a record budget, higher not only in nominal terms, but also in relation to GDP. So that's it. Goodbye, Poland. You think I'm happy about it? Absolutely not. But that's the road they've chosen to take. This is the path. You either choose the path of light or you choose the path of darkness. So, sinking lower and lower and lower into the demonic energies. And the comment of the day from Katarzyna Herman. I just want to thank you, Pani Kasiu. Thank you so much for your comment. This is about my statement, which I again would like to repeat. You might not agree on this. It's just my take on. People think that it's Poland's goal to take some part of Ukraine. I actually think the Western demons, reptiles, they have a different goal. In order for Ukraine to survive, you have to have Ukraine entering Poland and stabilizing itself on Polish territory. This is just my mindset with this. That's how I'm looking at it. And to some extent, this comment actually confirms my opinion. Well, Anya, Ukropol was officially announced some few years ago. Around 5 years ago, I was issuing passports, and to my surprise, there were double naming offices in the council, one in central Poland. As I have mentioned before, let's have a look at the Gomberg map post-Second World War. Made by watchmaker Jew in States in 1943. There wasn't Poland there as well. So I went on this map and no more Poland. I don't think it will be like this actually. I think there will still remain some symbolic part of Poland. The west side, that side that I come from, that is close to Germany, that used to be the German side. But then the rest of the Poland will be kind of like two countries or just one union with Ukraine, Ukropol. It's just my opinion. Guys, that's all I have for you today. The links to the articles and the video that I just mentioned in this recording is down below in the description box. I want to say to all of you who have mentioned yesterday that Scott Ritter was talking about my book that I collaborated with him, his book, our book on Judge Napolitano, Judging Freedom, and I'm really honored that Scott mentioned this book and he mentioned me. So to those of you who were watching at the end of that live stream, you probably saw it, you mentioned in the comments. Thank you so much for your constant support for ordering this book. And like I said, my portion of the money that I will make from this will go towards purchasing my home outside of Moscow. So it's actually a very exciting new chapter for me, stepping into unknown, but I believe I will make it happen before the end of this year. And thank you for following me on Instagram. It's AniaK_44, as well as for your donations on PayPal, becoming my supporter by clicking this join button underneath the video and joining me on Locals. And that's it. Lots of love. Remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. See you tonight during my live stream with the one and only Andrei Martyanov. Bye everyone.